Hope everybody's having a great Tuesday.
What's up, Caleb? I'll start. What led into the decision for you to switch over to wide receiver, and so far, how's it been going?
I think over winter workouts, Tank puts us through some really good workouts, and a lot of stuff was agility, quickness, and just stuff that makes you better on the football field. And that's something I've always cherished, is I have that competitive edge, and I still have that athletic ability. I haven't let that go. So, I mean, the coaches saw me going through there, and I mean, when you're a third-year guy here who's only played in 4 games, like, you got to do something to stand out when a new staff shows up. And so I was just working as hard as I can, going as hard as I can every rep. And then Coach B came up to me while we were stretching one day and was like, "Hey, like, can you go with the receivers today?" And so I went with them, and we were just doing like simple, like, running around cones and stuff, receiver stuff. And I mean, from now on, I guess I'm a receiver. So it's been going pretty well. I enjoy it. I've missed being able to run around, make some athletic plays, do some athletic things, but it's been good overall.
Do you think the fact that you played 4 sports in high school lends your ability to maybe do something like that, or had you ever thought about that up until this past spring?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you guys saw last year I played punt returner for 2 games. So, I mean, I've been doing that since my sophomore year. About midway through the season, I started doing that in practice. And then last year I got in there for 2 games. And I mean, it's just being an athlete. Like, I grew up playing 4 sports. I had opportunities to specialize and just stick to soccer or something like that. But I always wanted to be a team guy and do what I can to help my school. And now here I am kicking and playing wide receiver. I mean, that's a pretty cool story in my eyes.
Thanks, Caleb.
Hey, Caleb, good to see you. When you're talking about those workouts you guys are going through, and Coach Gill almost talked about it, Donald as well, excuse me. When you're going through those workouts, are you focused more on just trying to impress from a perspective of trying to win that starting kicker job, or were you really going into it thinking there could be some other role for me here?
No, honestly, neither. I just go into every workout thinking I need to win this rep. I need to win this rep. I need to win the next rep. And that's how I've been my whole life. I mean, I played basketball with Kendall from 7th grade on, and I mean, we pushed each other every practice. He's the fastest kid I've seen, and I'm trying to run next to him. I'm trying to beat him, and that's just how I've always been. So, I mean, coming here, it was no different with Coach Lou originally, and then now with Coach Tank. Whatever they put us in, I'm just trying to win. I'm not really thinking about the football aspect of it. It's just in my heart, I need to win, and I know that I have the ability to win. So for me not to win would be a lack of effort.
And Coach McDonald mentioned to us that, he came up to you and said, would you be interested? And then he asked you, if you could really run routes, catch the ball, things like that. And he mentioned you kind of filmed yourself running routes and things like that. Can you take us through what you did there, that I guess maybe what you think you did there that impressed him, and what that was like just to do something like that to try and show off for a coach in that respect?
Yeah, I mean, one day around the facility, he was asking everybody saw, can Caleb catch? Can Caleb catch? And I was like, Coach, I'm an athlete. I can catch the ball. Like, that's not the issue. And so then he was like, all right, film it. I need to see it. We can't see it, so film it. And so I was like, okay. So I went in the indoor with Isaiah and Griffin Moore one night, and I had Griffin record a few routes that we talked about and just running, Isaiah throwing it to me catching it, like backyard stuff. I mean, we've been doing this our whole life. So, like, that's not the hard part. The hard part is understanding the football portion of it. But, like, the catching part was pretty simple. Like, I've been doing that forever. So I sent him that, and he was pretty happy about it. So, and we're on good terms right now.
Thanks, Caleb.
Thank you.
Hey, Caleb, good to see you. There still is like a kicking battle going on here, and I know Lig's gone and Ben Miller is your new guy. What do we need to know about him? I mean, we've talked to him before, but what have your impressions been of him over these few weeks?
Yeah, Coach Miller is awesome. I mean, he puts us in situations to succeed. We've been mainly focusing on punt, so I haven't been too involved in that. So, I mean, we're kicking field goals every day. James will kick a certain amount. I'll kick a certain amount, and I mean, they're all being charted. The whole team's watching. Coach B's charting, yelling at us. Like, I mean, it's a good environment. I really like how things are being ran. And Coach Miller and Coach Fro, who's I think he's an analyst, they've been great. They've been great with the specialists. And I mean, I don't get to meet with them as often now because I'm going to receiver meetings. But I mean, the relationships I built with them before I moved to the receiver room, like, definitely helped me out.
And is this like for your time? We've seen you come in and you get taped. I'm assuming after you do some workouts early that, you know, we're not there for, but like, is this 50-50? Are you more wide receiver than kicker at this point? How would you find the balance there?
Yeah, so I guess, I mean, I'll take you through my practice. We come out early and warm up for field goal. And then the first thing we have at practice is field goal. So, I mean, I kick my field goals in front of the team, make my field goals in front of the team. And then we go into the indoor because the field's taken. So we go into the indoor just as specialists. I get a few more kicks in. I get basically a second field goal period, just kicking from different spots. And then once that period is over, it happens every day. I shake up with all the specialists, and I'm like, all right, guys, I'll see you at the end of practice. And then once I leave the indoor, I go get my ankles taped. And then once I step on that field with my ankles taped, I'm a receiver the rest of practice.
Can you walk me through the first time that you lined, maybe even with pads on Saturday? I know maybe the feeling changes. Like, I mean, I know like you're confident in yourself and you can do it, but was there a part of you that looked around like, whoa, this is not what I've been doing for 3 years?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely different. I think that around the time that I went out there for my first rep, the specialists were coming back in from getting their work in. And I was like, dang, like it might be nice to go stand over there with them. It might be nice to go stand and watch the rest of practice and just get a few drills in. But no, it's been good. Like it's competing. Each rep is a competition. Each play is a competition. And that's what I love to do. That's what I've always loved to do. So it definitely was weird. I didn't expect myself to be a Big Ten receiver when I came here, but I mean, I'm all for it.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Hey, Caleb. Everyone always kind of talks about the specialist practice experience as kind of isolated. Not like you just detailed seeing both sides of it, but what do you think of that characterization of it?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely specialized. Like we can't kick all day. We can't punt all day. So we'll have our periods in front of the team, and then we'll go on the side. We're in the stadium now. There isn't much room for us to kick or punt. So we'll either go up to the grass field or go in the indoor, get kicks and punts in, do little drills that we need to get better on that will help our performance get better. But like, it's really all about just fine tuning your technique. You can't be kicking balls all day. Like you can't do that. It's not for your leg. So it's really just fine tuning your techniques, and it is specialized because you're on your own. You might have a coach with you here or there, but like the room that we have is awesome. Like everybody's driven to get better. Everybody wants to get better. Everybody pushes each other. Like, yeah, we have guys who have played a lot, but we got guys who want to play. Like I wasn't a fan sitting on the bench for 3 years, but like it is what it is. And I just have to push myself and push James to be the best that he can.
And then after about, like a few months with this new staff, what's just your biggest takeaway collectively from the staff?
It's different because, I mean, when they first got here, I was like I said earlier, a 3-year guy who'd played in 4 games. And as Coach B said earlier in the week or whenever, I was a specialist. Like I had to do something to stand out. I didn't think anybody really knew me. And then going through winter workouts, the coaches saw me, whatever, and they liked me. Like they saw my effort, they saw my heart, my confidence, my leadership. Just having their support, like it's hard to trust somebody who you don't know. So we're building relationships with the coaches every day, every week, and I think that's just going to make us better throughout all of spring ball.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Caleb, as a kicker, you never get blown up in a game, or rarely. It's a big penalty. You're going to face that now. Are you looking forward to that? Are you worried about that? Is your family worried about that? Tell me how you feel about the first time you get heavy contact in the game.
Let's just say this. My mom would like me to win the kicking job.
Push you in.
But no, like my family talked about that last year when I was playing punt returner. Like they'd mess with me. Oh, you remember this guy got blown up? They'd send me clips. I'm like, it happens. It's part of the game. I mean, if if I'm deciding to go out there, if the coaches want me out there, I'm going to go out there and try to make a play. If I get hit, I'll bounce right back. Like, I mean, it's just part of the game. I'm not saying that it's not in the back of my head, like, oh, like, you're not going to get hit. Like, it's going to happen. It's going to hurt, but I'll get used to it. I'll figure it out.
Who's a role model for you? There aren't a lot of kicker receiver combinations in the or anywhere else. Is there somebody you've kind of thought of as like somebody you can kind of look to, or would you like to call somebody to talk to them about this kind of rare double?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think there's many people in my position. Like, I don't think there's anybody who's done what I've done, as in like playing multiple positions as a kicker. But I think, I mean, my whole life I looked up to Grayson Allen. I was a huge Duke fan. And, I mean, he just plays with so much heart. He plays with so much confidence. And, I mean, he was an unbelievable leader. Yeah, he had his ups and downs, but he always bounced back. And, I mean, that's just what I'm trying to bring heart, bring energy, bring confidence, and bring leadership to this team. And whatever role I'm put in to do that, whether it's kicker, whether it's punt returner, whether it's receiver, whether it's stand on the sidelines, I'm going to try to bring what I can to the team.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Hey, Caleb, hope you're well, man. I wanted to switch subjects a little bit and ignore the human behind me. But you know Julian Pearl as well as anyone, obviously. And a year ago at this time, he wasn't on a lot of radars as an impact player, but we've heard from Vederian, Bart Miller, that have raved about him. What have you seen from him, especially during the last 6 months, to become a guy that they're talking about playing a big impact?
Yeah, I mean, you jumped the gun because I wanted to give him a shout out because I've seen everybody else is giving him a shout out, so I feel bad to not give him one. But I mean, Julian's just back to the old Julian. Like, when we were in high school, he was a fun guy. He's laughing, he's joking, he's working hard. In our first few years here, I mean, it's hard to do that when you're not playing, when you're not where you need to be physically, mentally, and just on the football field. And I think last year when he got in, I think it was the Rutgers game, Rutgers to the rest of the season, he just saw that, like, I can play at the Big Ten level. Like, I'm good enough. Like, and it's given him confidence. And I mean, now he's walking around here at whatever weight he is. It's a lot more than when we were roommates freshman year. But I mean, he's just walking around carrying that weight well. And I mean, he's a great player. I don't know much about offensive line, but if they're saying good things about him, I assume he's doing good things.
Yeah. So, like, personally, have you seen a change in him during the last year? You're kind of talking about, like, obviously you struggle with confidence a little bit, but have you seen a big change in him?
I'd really just say, like, getting back to himself. Like I said earlier, like, it's hard to do that. And I had the same issue. It's hard to do that when you don't play. Like, you're a scholarship guy that's not playing. Like, there's guys above you. It's hard to be yourself. It's hard to walk around here with a lot of confidence, walk around here with swagger. Like, it's just hard to do that when you're not one of the guys playing. And I think now that he's seen he can play, like, he's proven his ability, I think he just walks around with that swagger, that confidence, and that's making him a better football player.
Thanks, Caleb.
Thank you.
Got a quick follow-up for you, Caleb. Kind of an alternate version of a question I just asked you a bit ago, but you were so used to being so busy in high school with your 4 sports. I know you returned punts last year, like you mentioned before. Was there any part of you that ever considered, especially with the new staff coming in, just maybe applying for another job in addition to kicking duties, regardless of how the kicking job panned out?
Not really. Like, it wasn't really something that crossed my mind to play another position. Like, I know I've had success in the past in other sports, but I now I know a lot more. But I didn't really know football. Like, I didn't understand football. I didn't understand the route tree, like quarterback reads, receiver reading the defense. Like, I never really understood that. And I mean, I'm taking 19 credit hours this spring. And now that I've added wide receiver to that, it's like an extra 5 credit hour class. And I mean, I didn't plan to put this on myself, but I mean, it's tough. It's really hard. But I think Coach McDonald's doing a great job of setting me up for success and giving me the keys to be a great player, because he sees it in me. Coach B sees it in me. And now, I mean, I see it in me in other spots, but I've never thought of myself as a Big Ten receiver. So now with their, like, seeing them have confidence in me, it's just building my confidence every day. I think that answers your question, kind of.
Yeah, it does. Thanks, Caleb.
Thank you. Anything else, Caleb?
Thanks, Caleb.
Guys.
Hey, Vederian, good afternoon. Yesterday when Coach Miller was speaking with us, I kind of asked him a little bit about O-line pride after Doug talked about it last week. When he came, he kept the O-line pride mantra that you guys had kind of built over the last couple of years. What did that mean to you as someone who's been in that room for so long now?
It meant a lot, that is something that, we've been saying from the moment I stepped foot on this campus. O-line pride is like something that we, live by every day. We never leave a guy behind. And I think, by us, holding to that O-line pride, standard, O-line pride, motto, it has, kept the O-line together, over the last, few years that I've been here. I think that the O-line, has one of the strongest bonds as a group, on the team. And I like that. And I think O-line pride has a lot to do with that. So, Coach Bart keeping, the same, it meant a lot to us. And of course, he's coming over, so he's adding his own, sub points and his own, things to, the motto. And, it's just making it something bigger, it's just bringing all the other guys together and, adding him to it is just making it, one big great thing for everybody.
I think maybe one of my big takeaways from speaking with him was his emphasis on the toughness that he wants to instill within that group. Have you maybe seen a difference in the first couple spring practices or even the meetings on the emphasis of being tough and expecting to win each and every snap against the man across from you?
Yes. That's something that he preaches about every single day. Toughness is something, even the defensive guys, they even feel it in practice now. It's just something that, we've been trying to hold ourselves, to that standard that he wants us to. Toughness is a huge part of playing offensive line, and you need to be tough in order to, have a huge impact on the game. And that's what, everybody is trying to do. That's what me and Doug and Paucho and Blake and everybody is trying to just bring everyone along and, and start to live with that toughness mindset.
Thanks, V. Appreciate it.
Hey, Vederian, good to see you. With so many guys returning on this offensive line, competition, I know, is something Brett Bielema has talked about a lot, just mostly with Kendrick Green's spot being open. What have you seen the competition be like among all these returning O-linemen, yourself included, just to kind of not only fill Kendrick's spot, but also prove to Bart Miller that you belong as starters on the O-line?
It's been great, when there's a spot, up for grabs, it does nothing but just elevate the entire group. Everybody wants to up their play so they can prove, to coach that they belong in that spot. Coach Miller always said since day one, the first day we walked in, the first O-line meeting, I'm going to have the 5 guys on the field. So everybody's just been trying to, play up to their highest potential and prove to coach that, that they deserve to be in that spot. And guys are getting moved around, different size, different positions and all. We're just trying to find the best fits, for everyone in every position. And, it's only, probably only practice 4 today. We got, I believe, like 11 more practices left. And, things will clear up a lot more near the end of spring ball. But as of right now, it's going great. Guys are, elevating their game. Guys are working on things every single day. Guys are trying to correct things that, normally that they wouldn't have corrected. They're, getting better at, every aspect of their game. So it's working out really well.
And you and the other upperclassmen, obviously, we kind of know what you guys bring to the table. But as far as some of those younger guys on the O-line, is there anybody to you that's really stood out so far for the play you've seen in spring ball and even earlier than that, I guess?
Yeah. The one guy that has stood out to me is Julian Pearl. He's not really an upperclassman, but he's not really a young guy. But he's one of those guys who's been, coming along just fine, in replace of Paucho. And I believe, I think everybody else can think that too. He's been doing a great job, filling in for Paucho, and holding down that spot. His technique and his effort and everything about his game has come a very long way, since when he first got here, when he first moved over to O-line. He's been doing a great job. And another guy who's been stood out, even though he's not a younger guy, Blake Jarasati. I've been playing next to him recently, and, since him coming off of his, labrum surgery, he's been, doing everything that he can to submit himself, on that O line, and he's been, busting his butt, in practice and in meetings, the best player that he can be. So those are the guys that stood out the most. Our young guys are coming along. That's one thing about it. They're young. They have a lot to learn. I was once that guy too. It's just going to take a lot of reps, a lot of practice, a lot of film, and a lot of coaching. But they'll be just fine.
Thanks, Vederian.
Hey, Vederian, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
Good. Have you spent much time around Terry Hawthorne so far? Have you gotten to know him a little bit?
I have not spent too much time around him now.
I just wondered, having a guy, an ex-player back here around you guys, how much does that help?
It helps a lot. Everybody, it's good to have, people who have come back, people, who know, the players, who know the facility, who just want to, see, great things happen to this university for this team. We've been, the forgotten thought of the Big Ten for a very long time, and having people that just want to, help this, university do great things is a great thing.
I want to ask you about Caleb Griffin, who's trying to play receiver and be a kicker. Do you think of kickers as receivers or kickers as, how do you, give me your thoughts on kickers?
Kickers, they're the unsung heroes, I think. They don't do much at practice. You don't ever really see them at all. They just sit on the side and they do their little stretches and stuff. And then they have to come in, in the biggest moments of the game, to try and help us win. So, even though they don't do much at all, really at all, I think they're the unsung heroes. Caleb, he's a dynamic player. I knew from when he first came in as a freshman. He's one of those guys who he can do multiple things. He's a great basketball player. You can just see the coordinate. Like, it just makes sense, for him to make that move to receiver. And then, the few reps that I've seen him, go at a receiver, he's catching balls, making the right plays and stuff like that. And also still making kicks, in the practice in the critical period. So yeah, he's doing a great job.
Can he block? Because I know you can block. Can you block or not?
I don't know. I have to ask. I have to watch the film on him. I haven't seen it. I just seen him catch a couple passes.
Thanks, Meredith. Thanks.
Hey, Vederian, good to see you. The other day, Coach Bielema talked about you kind of transforming your body a little bit with Coach Tank in those 8 weeks. What specifically did he do? How are you feeling going into the spring now?
I'm feeling great. I'm feeling a lot, better than I have in recent years, because for one, Coach Tank and his staff, and they all came in, with a vision for everyone and a vision for this team. And, they told us, they gave us all the tools and told us everything that we needed to do, to, start making progress. And, I, started taking this offseason. Taking this offseason more serious than I have any year. And, just hammering down on my diet and everything, and them telling me, I'm meeting with the nutritionist and learning, what I should eat and what I shouldn't eat, and all that. And then, working out with Coach Tank in the weight room and stuff, and trying to, build the muscle mass, that I need to be a dominant lineman. He's great at his job. He knows a lot. He's been a lot of places, and he knows what it takes, to be great. And he knows what it takes to, show those, NFL scouts, that you're really a beast, as he would say. So he's came in and did a great job. I just think that, throughout those 8 weeks, not just me, but everybody has made an effort, to transform their bodies in the best way possible. And the good thing about it is we still have a summer session left. So, we still have some more time to go, and we still have, another chance to take more steps towards, being the best people that we can be come fall.
And I know it's only been 4 practices and only a couple with pads, but in the time you spent with Coach Tank and getting to know Coach Bart Miller, has this solidified your decision to stay? Do you see the road to the leaps that you wanted to take this year? I mean, again, I know it's still pretty early here.
No, I agree. I definitely agree. It has, I'm glad that I made that decision, not only, for my family, but for myself in this football aspect. I've loved what Coach Tank and his staff have been doing from day one. They have been doing a great job. It's a different, it's a different vibe, as you would call it, around the facility. with those guys in there, guys actually, show up to workouts, ready to give it their all. No one's coming in trying to just, let me just, we'll get through it today. Guys actually want to crush the workout because, you get done and you feel great. Coach Tank, they're going to take care of you, 100%. I've never worked on as much, soft tissue and all the stretching and everything that he does. I've never worked on that as much as we do. We dedicate the first half hour of the workout to, soft tissues and stretching. So, he's going to make sure you're taken care of, but you have to give it your all. And that's what he's done, to this team. Every guy's came in, ready to work every week. And Coach Miller, he's been great. I've loved, playing for him these last, few weeks in spring ball. And, I think that he's doing a great job, trying to, bring everybody along. It's a new offensive line coach. We've had the same line coach for about 2 years now. So guys are kind of set in their ways. So, it makes it a little difficult, for guys to want to, for guys to transform their, old ways, their old techniques to what Coach Miller, wants us to do now. But, Coach Miller's doing a great job, still trying to bring everybody along. So I'm still learning some of the things that Coach Miller wants us to do. But all in all, I think I made a great choice staying here. I love the new coaching staff. I love the strength staff. Everything's good.
And if I could get one more, with Coach Miller, what's he doing that's making, he mentioned guys maybe being set in their ways, especially some of the guys who have had so much experience. What's he doing that's making this easier, that's allowing you guys to grow at a pretty good speed?
One thing I can say about Coach Miller, he's played offensive line before, so he gets it, is what I like to say. He gets, that sometimes things aren't going to be the prettiest as long as you, are tough, and as long as you're dominant, as long as you're physical, and as long as you, go to the right aiming points, and try to dominate your guy across from you every single play, then that's what he wants. And that's probably one of the, the main differences, in this year and last year. I just think that, the way he wants things done is different, but it's going to help us, in every aspect.
Thanks, V. Appreciate it.
Hey, Vederian, you're the second person in a row to highlight Julian Pearl. I'm just wondering, what's the difference between Julian a year ago and Julian now?
Julian is much more confident in himself. Julian is Julian, is a passive guy. He's a great guy. He's a very passive guy. And, before he even got any game, reps, he was very, unsure about his potential, about his talent, about his, athleticism and all that. And, and for him to be, not knowing, he was going to play that Rutgers game, and, that stuff having to pouch on him getting in and, actually putting it down, he's gotten a lot more, aware of what he can do. Julian is a great offensive lineman. He's a great offensive tackle, and he's going to be great, for the years to come as he still plays here. But yeah, he plays with more effort now. He's way more smarter than he used to. He's dedicated himself more, trying to be a great offensive lineman.
I'm sure if he was unsure of himself, you probably were unsure when he came into that Rutgers game about how he would do. So what did he show you? And how do you feel about him on the field now?
I feel great about him on the field now. Like I said, Pearl has, he's always asking questions, trying to improve his game. He asks me questions all the time. He asks Paucho questions all the time. He just always wants to know, what he can do better so that he doesn't end up making the same mistakes again. And, I think it's great because, we all learn off of each other. Even when I'm telling him what to do on some type of things, those are things that I can improve at as well. So, we're all trying to get better, at the same time. There's no doubt in my mind that, Pearl will be a great offensive lineman for University of Illinois, for next coming years.
Thanks, V. Appreciate it.
Hey, Vederian, good to see you. I'm just wondering how's your family been lately, and what's it been like, having a young family in a whole year of a pandemic now?
The family's been great. Thanks for asking. It's been good. When the pandemic started, I got a lot of time with my family, with my fiance at that time, and then with my son. He was a little baby. when the pandemic started. It was great, to get that time that you normally wouldn't get, because of, school and spring ball and all that stuff. But yeah, it was a great time, and things are still going well. So yeah.
Cool. So the staff has been in place now for a few months now. Everyone's kind of been back. What has been the thing that has impressed you the most collectively, would you say?
The thing that I think impresses me the most is that the staff here is, trying to change the culture, change the way that, the guys view Illinois football. They want guys to, come in earlier. They want guys to, work on recovery. They want guys to dedicate themselves more than they ever have to this sport, to this game, and to being an elite program. And I think that's a major change, and what we're used to. Guys are used to, coming in, doing their own thing, and, they don't want it to be like that anymore. They want guys to, collectively come in and recover every day after a workout or after a practice. They want guys to, come in and get in the film room. Their coaches, I know Coach Miller is always saying after every meeting, hey, tomorrow, come in. Like, if I'm not in my office, if I'm in an office and meeting, just pull me out. I'll come help you watch film. That's the type of stuff. They're just trying to change what we're used to doing, and I think that's what the major difference is.
Is that also kind of the hardest part, as a bunch of guys coming back who were used to an entire different way of doing things?
It's not really hard, I would say. I think that it makes you want to invest yourself even more. I feel like this is the way that, things should be ran. I think that this is what will help us take that next step. We've had the guys, to take that step. We just never have. And I think that, with the staff coming in and wanting to change the culture and wanting to change the way that we do things, as a team, I think that, it will just invest more guys into it. Guys are at the stadium more often, than they ever were. I think some guys spend the whole day up here. And it's not just because the facility is very nice, but yes, I just think that, them coming in to do that, it invests everybody. And I feel like all the older guys, love it a lot.
Thanks.
Hey, Vederian, the new coaching staff has made it extremely obvious about their new emphasis on getting in-state guys. As someone that was recruited in-state, what does that emphasis mean to someone like you on the team?
It means a lot. Illinois has great football players, and we've had great football players, over the years that I was recruited, and, even before that. And, you always see those guys, end up going to, different places in the country. And, it really sucks to see that. It sucks to see a guy that, you played against in high school, and, you guys were buddies, in high school, or you just knew him. And, for you to go to your home state school and for him to, want to go elsewhere, it's really hard to see. You want all the in-state guys to come and stay in state, like a lot of other school has. So I think it means a lot that they're emphasizing on that, because, like I said, Illinois has great football players. And I feel like if we can get more guys from Illinois in here, that, want to, change the way that things have been done, change the Illinois history that we've had over the last few years, then it will mean a lot.
Great. Thank you.